Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, lovely night it is. Now before I go to bed, I kind of want to browse some good old-fashioned 4chan X. I like browsing paranormal boards anywhere you go because I like to be spooked before going to bed. I know some people consider that no-no, but I genuinely enjoy it. So ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax. I might even have shown you this thread. It is very lengthy. It's the tale of what happens when 4chaners come around some really paranormal computers. So that being said, let's dive in to this lovely little thread. Hey X, I used to browse here a lot a few years back, but I haven't stopped in for quite some time. A friend of mine recently had to send his computer into the shop because he thought he had downloaded some kind of virus. At the same time, he kept telling me about weird shit that keeps happening to him in his house. The main one is he's been having issues with both lights and his television turning either on or off when he knows that he left them the other way before leaving the room and returning. He hasn't actually witnessed them going out, but they're always opposite of how he left them. From what I hear, the only real thing that he noticed being up with his computer is that he kept finding images and text files in his download folder that he never knowingly downloaded. Long story short, and this got me thinking, do you think it's possible for some kind of paranormal entity to fuck with your computer? Or maybe even use the computer, or maybe even could the computer be the original source of whatever it is that's fucking up his house? Pics mostly unrelated, just the only thing I had saved from when I used to be on here a lot. So, let's just be real about it. No, your computer's probably not going to screw with your house unless it's like a smart enabled computer with like all these smart lights and everything heading around, which you're probably setting yourself up for disaster. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't trust smart lights. I don't trust any of that smart IoT technology. The last thing I want to do is smartify my house up. I actually prefer a house that's dumb. But as you can see, the first picture he shares is this. Now, I don't really know how to describe this to you. It's what we call edgy.jpg. I've seen this floating around a lot when it came to X. It's not really specific to this thread indeed. This is actually just like a generic scary image that's sent around. Honestly, if I want to be real with you, this reminds me a whole heck of a lot of the Mario creepypasta, where the whole gimmick was, you know, they had a Mario haunted gaming cartridge, and it was embedded with weird JPEG images like so. So anyways, let's get down to it. Also, while I'm thinking, should I recommend him to maybe leave an iPhone or something recording when he leaves the room to see if he can catch anything happening? A little bit of EVP stuff, a little bit of that EVP goodness? Absolutely not. This is what immediately gets brought on. Now, of course, what happens with OC here is he gets responded by Anonymous, all right? Where they ask, could the computer be the original source? Absolutely not. The computer could only fuck up with the rest of the house if it was a diamotic house and the computer was connected to it. Yeah, basically a smart house. Otherwise, the worst a computer could do to shut off lights due to excessive power consumption, which probably wouldn't happen because a computer is not going to be consuming that much power. Do you think it could be possible for some kind of paranormal entity? You'd need some really intelligent ghost to operate at a CPU level. If the ghost was using regular human means, using keyboard, mouse, and input device to fuck up the computer, your friend could have seen it. Computer ghosts doesn't real. Now, this is like kind of the weird, you know, sort of really dumb response. It's not really fun to see a response like this, you know what I mean? Like, at least make it somewhat exciting. Clearly, the person's trying to fish for some Ghostbuster shit. You know, a cool little story to share with their friends. You're already ruining the fun, and we just started the thread. What kind of files? Are they program files or random junk? All right, so this is one of the images being shared. Again, mostly unrelated, but this is giving me the Fatal Frame vibe. Spooky indeed. Well, obviously, ghosts aren't real. Dude, I hate how cynical 4chan is. Give the man some spooks. But the computer might as well have malware that could do just about anything. So, computer ghosts does real. Why not try it? Worst case, you have to delete a few videos where absolutely nothing interesting happens. So there they mentioned it's an old Toshiba laptop. Most of the time it isn't even plugged in. The actual images and text files that are new are ones that are just randomly corrupted shit. Dude, your chances, double your chances and try recording a room with the computer that is infected. If you do catch anything, it probably won't count much as proof. Okay. Now, this is another image that's passed, and this is where you start getting a bit of the Mario creepypasta. For those people who know that creepypasta, this is going to start seeming a bit familiar. Actually, you won't. This is the Mario creepypasta face, nothing in relation to what we're actually going to be looking at. Now, this is actually an image that is related to the whole story. This is from the actual computer, one of the infected, corrupted image files. And immediately, one of the chanters starts saying, it looks part of a map, maybe like a little coastline, perhaps? So here they start comparing it to America's penis with Florida, and I'm going to be real with you, maybe if we're counting the 8-bit side of it, but it just does... Actually, wait! No, now that I look at it, it does kind of feel a bit like Florida. Yes, we actually have this extension over here, but, you know, if you look at the bottom coastline there to this, kind of looks a little close for comfort, I'd say. So here you get 4 questions. Does your friend have a PC back yet, or is it still in the shop? Did anything else happen recently in him outside of a computer and the weird stuff in his house? Has he ever been into the paranormal, like demonic stuff or black magic? Do you know if he's backed up any more images? Now you might be like, has he backed up more images? Oh yes, buckaroo indeed. Now here we've got part of the image we've seen before and part of the image we've seen now, and a long stringy purple line connecting the two. I don't know if this was added later on, but that's part of the image. Now, slowly, it's going to start filling up. OP still has to find some more pictures. So, at this point, one of the actual investigators are trying whatever they can with QR code testing, right? And guess what? It didn't work. I don't know what they were trying to do here. Maybe they were trying to be clever, really. They were trying to think outside the box. But it was ultimately a fruitless endeavor. Now, after a couple posts, one of the chanters decides to invert the image, replace the white with black, and look at the stacked image and stretch it to the full length of the file. Here we finally got the bottom Florida map section and some eyes, all right? So again, if you know the Mario creepypasta, it's filling in. It's filling in. Now here they find a string of character that says Repiru, where they ask if it means anything, and somebody converts it to, I guess you would say, like Greek text, which is I am. Good news, folks. Whatever this is, it claims to be God. Now, if you're gonna say that, let me just tell you real quick. That's some real boring, spooky nonsense. The next thing we get is this image. Now, that looks like some weird Anubis shit going forward. It is definitely creepy, and I'm probably gonna remember that as I'm trying to sleep tonight. So let's get that out of the picture over there. All right, so finally OP comes back, and they said he just got home, and now he's leaving to come to my place. I just need to upload the video, but he's freaked out right about now, where he starts to talk about an actual weird video he gotten, right? All right, he just got off work, and he keeps all his clothing right now in the spare bedroom closet. He went in to grab some clothes to get a shower, and then walked into his room. As he was about to walk out of his bedroom into the bathroom, he grabbed his iPhone and ran in. So he mentions a tiny pic image, but unfortunately, because of the age of this, I wasn't able to actually get the image out there. But someone does actually bring this image and repost it. And whatever I'm looking here is so fucking low resolution. What I'm seeing here is a face. Okay, that's the closest thing that I can kind of compare it to. Honestly, it looks like if I flip on my purple lights real quick. Actually, let me see how close to reality that shit is. Dude, it's kind of there. It's kind of there. What the fuck? All right, turn that shit off. God damn, that's eerily too close to what I expect. So here's another shot from OP, and it's from the actual Tiny Pic video. Basically, the community is just gathering as much stills as they can, which is the best we can ever show. And this, again, leads to this face amongst this entire, like, low-resolution stuff. Again, this is from 2014. Not really an excuse for low-resolution videography, but I can't complain, okay? It is better quality than half the Bigfoot footage you've ever found. Now, we're getting closer to piecing together what God actually looks like in this case. So here you've got the eyes, the forehead, the Florida section, but now you're starting to get a bit of the teeth action going in. So that's getting to the interesting point. Now, on the left, they're trying to compare eyes with whatever they could get out of the stills. Again, not high resolution to pick off from, but we're getting there. Now, at this point, the entire thread's getting a little scared. You know, they're wondering, ooh, they had a smirk, and now they're hearing voices and seeing fucked up faces. That face, though, still has this one. I don't think we have any other. And, of course, we're developing more and more into this whole scenario. So, to me, it's looking like the Mario creepypasta, but at this point in the thread, I'd probably be assuming Gygas, you know, from Earthbound. Finally, we have a much more complete image of God himself. All we're missing is the nose and the cheeks. Otherwise, God's all present right here, or what claims to be the demonic God stuck into our friend's Toshiba laptop. Are your friends base or belong to that? It would seem. Bro, are you fucking out of your mind? This is 2014, not 2006. What fucking memeing are you doing from the fucking prehistoric Paleolithic era? Get out of here, dude. 147377680. That is some old memeing right there. I can feel that's from like the old dirty B-tard days. Get out of here, dude. Rest in peace, brother. Now, here Anonymous makes a good point. This thread, man, makes you wonder, though. You rarely see this level technology tampering with the supernatural, or it's less discussed. Is there any rumor about your friend's house OP? So, that's actually a really good point. Now, at this point, if you ever watch the movie The Ring, you'll know that technology plays a pretty decent role in trying to capture and put ghosts. As far as I know from The Ring, from what I remember, the entire concept is the ghost, Samara in the movie, is sort of printed onto a disc, like burned onto not discs, burned onto like tape. And that's how like her spirit sort of spreads, and if you watch the tape, you're dead after 7 days. That's like the only close thing to like technology and the supernatural that I get, right? Now here we got a little YouTube video, so let's open that up and see what we've got. I Am or About God. Now this is the actual video in particular, right? That has been saved and viewed. So let's try listening to it properly. He's like shitting himself. You can feel it. What the fuck? What the fuck? Did you see that? Oh my god. Wait. Okay. We're gonna show it. We're gonna get to it, okay? So if we can actually go around and effectively go frame by frame on the YouTube video. And I think the best frame we're getting is either this, go forward. That's fucking distorted. Holy shit. That's really distorted. And that's it. The best frame I can get is like this one. It kind of looks like the face of a child, so to speak. And I feel like the actual OP didn't see it. Otherwise, it would have fucking darted out of the room if they had been. But here you can see now here somebody's pointed out like 18, 19 you can hear. So let's try hearing Don't Run From Me. I heard it! I heard it! Oh my god, wait, listen. It's very low, very low. I can try increasing it in post. Yeah, it's like really whispery. What the fuck? Okay, alright. If I had watched this video back then, I'd actually be fucking scared. What the hell? Lay spooky red face, dude. I'm debating making that the goddamn thumbnail. Jesus Christ. Good. That's a good one. One of the websites that was linked in this thread is this like weird like Greek website that's written, and I'm going to try doing a thing where I quickly convert this translator to English. It's probably not going to be a great translation, but it'll be a lot better to understand than just this. Google Translate. This is a text written by the listeners of 958 FM on the air of the airwaves via SMS uploaded to the experimental stage. So here they mention things like, Maria, I heard it on the radio. Seriously, and you, Cleon, what are you telling me on the radios? Slow down the source. What did you hear, my lady? Take all the Ignatia and Pesot where? One way, Kotua Zol Cleon. Maria says it's on, it's Chair Vu CL, so that's obviously a failure of translation that's kicking in. But this is one of the website. It details the story, and it's not exactly the best in translation, but this is something that was linked in this thread. And of course, one thing you have to notice at this point in the night, OP is gone, all right? OP's name is PC in this thread, and you are not seeing any of the name. I mean, at this point, people are like, OP is kill. Woo! Of course, all just as a joke. OP has pretty much disappeared out there, and people are investigating the video. People are investigating that 1-minute video that we watched over and over and over again for further clues. So, from that same blog, someone posted the name Dimitrios Dingas. Turns out it was a man overshadowed by demonic beings and turned into them. Guys, this is fucking crazy. Now, here Anonymous says it's gone, but I think we might have the final piece. So let's see the final piece real quick. Now, this is an image from the same video, or a different video as far as I can see, pointing outside through the window. Now, I don't know what they've exactly gone going over there, but this is, I guess, so to speak, the final piece, which includes that nose and the cheeks. I don't know where they're digging it out of this video, but it's time to detect the actual logic, which we're starting to get into. Now, at this point, we've got a bunch of cross-board posting. So here you can see X. Here it is, the face of God. But X isn't the only one here. You've also got K, you've got B, and you've got poll for whatever the fuck it's worth, all into one thread. So this is where, like, you can definitely see this thread reaches legendary status. When everyone's involved in it, clearly it's interesting, and yet OP has still not responded to anything. Now, from the same, like, blog, people had finally traced, like, some SMS address, some telephone number, right? And you can see here's a correspondence from, like, one of the actual, like, thread responders, and it's fucked up. So here they're getting a bunch of images back, like, no, and then a picture of a knife, to which somebody says, hey, fuckboy, Lamau, to which they get this fucking weird image of 2 dolls and a knife. And if you look closer, yeah, it's pretty fucking weird, actually. 2 dolls and a knife. But then again, this is just generic, edgy X shit. If you're actually going to get scared, which is, I'm calling the police, you probably shouldn't be on X to begin with. I've genuinely seen fucking weird shit. But what's kind of fucked up about the 2 dolls and the knife is that somebody reverse image searched it through Google and TinyEye and a bunch of these reverse engine searches, to which they got no other, like, thread. So this is clearly shady as fuck at this point. It extends even further with fuck the whore. And then you've got what appears to be a statue of, I think that's the Virgin Mary. I don't think I can fuck that whore. Probably would get me canceled, just putting it out there. Now here they're sending back the image of God, 4chan God, and they get this string of numbers, 01010101, which is basically just fucking binary. And of course, somebody must have translated it. Binary conversion goes to we all die. No. I'm still alive, thank you very much. It's 2020, dude. I made it past. We all survived the fucking spooky 4chan demon. So, now, going through this thread, it deviates to a lot of places. It goes back and forth from progress to just going back on the progress we just made to finally considering making a ritual. Now, at this point, a lot of the anonymity of 4chan begins to sort of dilute. And these people start becoming named at this point. You know, you've also got individuals like Sua, 424 Swag, Denub, I hate that name, Luca, C-Train, M, Tyler B, 4 Lees, and Commando. Now, anyone joining the fuck train. Now, the thing is, they're starting to theorize that this demonic presence that's on the computer might actually, it's not omnipresent, it migrates between regions of the internet grid. So sometimes it migrates to North America, sometimes to Europe, sometimes to Africa, Asia, wherever you want to say. But and then you've got people bringing theology into the mix. So at this point, this thread is deviated. Yet again, OP is still relatively fucking missing in all of this. It's just taking a mind of its own. Now, that's a good point. If this is a real demon, would it live under the limitations of normal demons? I mean, people always claim that, like, saltpeter and shit protects you or whatever, but what about this? The demon has shown very little physical manifestations, not to mention that it's doing something that we have never seen before. So I say, X, this is a completely new type of entity, which I guess it might have been the case, but I don't know. It definitely, like, all I'm seeing so far is a face, relations to, like, an SMS website, and a weird, like, message thread, which has all been gone in this situation. Fuck my anus, 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 fuck my anus. Whew, what is up with this Chip Chan shit and crap? Grow up, X. Follow a hold heel and kill C milling jewel pesos. I don't even know what we're going on with. But at this point, we've literally devolved into complete racism and disgust. Which marks the end of a 4chan thread. Well, I'm not sleeping tonight. Thanks. So ladies and gentlemen, that was the I Am God thread of 4chan. It's a pretty infamous thread, as you can tell. Got over, what, 1,500 posts in one thing? That is one of the longest threads that I've actually read. Now, in terms of scariness, there's one thing that will never be captured in video form, and that's the thrill of joining into one of these 4chan threads in the middle of the night. Because when you get into it, there's just a magic around it, right? Like, granted, the OP pretty much brought this left and everyone else was just coming up with their own things. And it basically led to a small little ARG/investigation thing. And we went from a creepy set of images all the way up to the Mario creepypasta, like scary face image, all the way finally to a weird video with like one image caught onto it, then to a weird SMS chain that never really went anywhere. So it was a night of a bunch of investigations, but most importantly, it was just a bunch of Chanborgers, it was just a bunch of Channers sitting tonight investigating something that actually was pretty goddamn creepy when it was out. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the little infamous I Am God thread, a quick little summary overlook of it. So hopefully you enjoyed it, hopefully you are able to sleep tonight. Hopefully it didn't spook you too hard. This being said, ladies and gentlemen, we might have looked at it before, but this was a much more in-depth sort of look at it. So I'm glad I've done it for posterity's sake. It was a fun time. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am out.